Here we go. Right, let's unbox this. We're in the car, we're going on our road trip, and we're going to unbox the new camera. Okay, first off, instructions. That is one hefty manual. Next up, we have a strap to go around your neck. Battery, so that's a different kind of battery to the ones which I've got in my old camera, so I'll need to, make sure that I buy a few spare ones of those. Power cable. And here is the actual camera. As you can see, it's a very light, small, got your little tripod bit there. Still got your full DSLR dials there, so your manual, your shutter and aperture priority, etc. Being mirrorless, the image in the M50 goes straight onto the sensor rather than through a series of mirrors to an optical viewfinder and the sensor like a DSLR does. Last thing in the box is this, a lens. So this is a 15 to 45 millimeter lens. It's sort of the standard kit lens that you get with the camera. So let's get it all set up, charged, and have a play with it. So this is the camera I'm upgrading from. It's the Canon 550D. Very good camera. I've had it about 8 or 9 years and I love it, but it is bulky, especially as I've got the kind of battery pack on there as well. I've got a variety of lenses for it. I've got 50mm, I've got a 40, I've got a long lens there, 75 to 300, and a 28 to 80 there as well. Now these are actually, because I've invested in these, I wanted a new camera that I could put these lenses on. Now, as you can see, the red dot here tells you it's an EFS lens and will only work with cameras that support this. Same with the white square on an EF lens. Now, the new camera, the M50, doesn't take these, which could be a pain, but you could buy a little adapter from Canon's website. It's about 100 quid. And it lets you put all your current lenses that you've got on the new camera. So, very good upgrade option. Okay, so once your battery's all charged up, takes a good couple of hours, then you just slide it into your camera like so. And that is also where your memory card goes. Nice and compact. Then you've got to put the lens on. So this is an EF-M lens, M meaning mirrorless, I presume. Line up the dots, twist it in like that. Take the lens cap off and you're ready to go. It's got this nice 3-inch flip screen, which is pretty good. And it gives you this notification when you first load up. Push and hold the lens switch and then rotate the lens to enable shooting. That basically means you take this white dot past this white dot whilst pulling in, and then you can use your zoom as per normal. There's various different settings, so this is very similar to DSLR here. You've got your aperture priority, shutter priority, program, which actually gives you a set of shutter speed and aperture set automatically, but you can set it to kind of darker or brighter. Auto, it's got all these hints to begin with, which is great if you're a first time camera user or upgrading from a smartphone. Choose an effect from preset and then shoot. So if you want to do background blur, so say I'm shooting a picture of this box but I want the background to be out of focus. First thing you do is you select the object in the front as your focus, so it's got kind of a touch focus system going on. So if I touch the box, it will, whilst I'm on the auto mode, it will focus and expose for that. Then if I do that background blur button, I can literally set it to different levels. So that being it's really blurry, that means it's sharp. So this is essentially changing the aperture. So what you would do if you had this on manual mode is you'd be changing the aperture and adjusting the shutter speed to compensate that. But what it does here is it gives you it in a kind of basic push and go version that you might use if you're used to a smartphone. So for me, this auto setting with all these kind of contrast and brightness settings is really good if you are upgrading from a smartphone. If, like me, you're upgrading from a DSLR, then obviously manual mode is the best, and you've got all of your kind of so you've got your button there, which is just that spinning around for shutter speed, so it goes anywhere from 30 seconds all the way up to 4,000th of a second. To select your f-stop, just touch screen on there. You can change your f-stop either using the on screen, or you can change it using that dial once more. So it gives you all the flexibility of a DSLR with your basic tools as well, if that's what you want to use. There's various effects you can add, but I'd recommend taking the pic normally and editing after. So this button down here means the type of file that you're shooting in. So RAW is basically the biggest file size that you can shoot in, and means that you can edit it on things like Lightroom and really get the most out of your pictures. For kind of standard stuff, you can go for S1, which is like a high quality JPEG, and that you can upload straight to Facebook or Twitter or Instagram or wherever you're putting your images. The camera has built-in Wi-Fi and Bluetooth, meaning you can send the photos to your phone and start sharing or editing straight away. The other good thing about this is it's got your viewfinder and your screen. So if you're used to, like me, having a viewfinder, you can do that as well. Cool. Next up, I'm going to show you movie mode. So that is on there, and this actually shoots up to 4K, and you can choose this. This is something I didn't have on my old camera, was to be able to ride the aperture and the shutter speed as you're going along. So say you're in a darker scene over there, and then you're shooting into the sun like that, you can actually change your shutter speed as you're going along. So I might want to be a bit more open over there and close down over there. And the same for aperture. Oh, I didn't mention about the ISO, which is great as well. So it's got a, this is on movie and camera mode. It goes from 12800 right the way down to your 100 that you'd expect on a camera, or just ping it onto auto. Obviously ISO, the higher it is, the more grain there is. Right, that's a whistle stop tour of the camera. Let me know in the comments what you think, how you're getting on, and if you have any questions, I'll try to answer.